Hey, it's good to see you. Hello and welcome to tonight's tarot reading. Tonight we'll be doing a pick-a-pile reading. We have 3 piles for you to choose from. And I'm pretty excited about this reading because I'm going to be doing a kind of layered spread that I've been using for myself a lot this month and really enjoying. So I hope you like it too. First, we need to pick a pile. So I invite you to take a deep breath in and out, and soften your gaze, broaden your vision a bit, and choose one of these piles. We have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Pile 1 has this piece of aventurine on top. Pile 2 has this unpolished piece of rose quartz. And pile 3 has this piece of malachite. So you can choose based on the stone, based on the pile number 1, 2, or 3, or simply based on how the pile makes you feel. If one of the piles kind of draws your energy towards it, that's also a great way to pick. I will leave timestamps down below so you can easily find the pile you want the reading for. And I will see you there. Okay. Bye. Hello, group 1, and welcome to your reading. You chose the first pile, which had this piece of aventurine on top. So we'll begin with your current situation. Here we have the 8 of Wands, the King of Wands, and the 6 of Pentacles. Some kind of creative goal, be that in art and design or business or spirituality, is moving very swiftly or is about to move very swiftly. We have some swift execution here with the 8 of Wands, a lot of vision, passion, intention in the King of Wands, and a flow of energy here in the 6 of Pentacles. Whatever goal you've set or want to set, you have all the drive you need to make it happen. This is you, the King of Wands, who has become a master or is currently exhibiting mastery over like how to harness your energy, contain your creative or spiritual energy, how to contain it and kind of stoke it like a fire. So again, this is for a goal you've already set, or maybe you are approaching again or approaching anew a goal you set in the past, in which case all is finally in place for swift development. I say that just because of the orientation of this particular 8 of Wands card. It's possible that it's a goal you're revisiting, although it could be a new one. And I feel too that the energy and the resources you have to pull off such a swift development and like rapid progress, perhaps they come from a single source, like a benefactor, a fellowship, an investor. It may also be you yourself, getting the sense that they come from one source. And so it's this main energy of art, design, business, spirituality kind of thing, or some combination of these things with home, finance, and health. But the main stone here is a creative one. So you're set up beautifully to achieve this goal. What's in light? We have the Hierophant, and the Page of Coins. So again, really going to be a pretty smooth road ahead. These cards are saying to me that there's no need to reinvent the wheel. Perhaps with this goal, because it's close to your heart or your spirit, there's an urge to make something wholly new. Like you want to produce a really creative, original expression, you want to use like a surprising combination of methods or efforts. If it's a business, you want to surprise, you want to be original. You can do those things, but there's no need to reinvent the wheel. You can follow the typical formula and it will still be authentic, meaningful, and fruitful, whatever it is that you do. It's not really like the what of your goal or the what of your effort that will make it valuable, but rather the how. So you can take a tried and true approach, and the outcome is still going to be much greater than the sum of its parts. It's going to be beautiful, successful, all the good things, because it's you doing it, and the way that you do it is everything. Then what's in shadow? We have the Seven of Wands and the King of Coins, or the King of Pentacles. On the other side of like this ease, there is a bit of a feeling of wanting it all, perhaps. Like you have this big goal because you are ambitious. You might want it all. You might want a little too much only in the way of like more than you need. The challenge might be that you're wanting to do this and do it well, in part just to move on to the next. You have a lot of vision, you want to keep building, but it will do you really well to go slowly, to be here now. Go slowly, even as everything goes smoothly and quickly. Like really, there's no need to force or push it to go fast. Don't force or push yourself to go fast. It's going to go plenty fast on its own. So the challenge is to find a way to go more slowly, or rather to build slowly. What you are shooting for is the first step in a legacy, perhaps a new career, something with longevity maybe, and in that case then, because this goal is meaningful to you and may lead to more, this step is important, because any step that follows is going to build off of this one. So don't rush. And then where to focus, we have the Eight of Cups. Your efforts here are going to be aligned with your deeper purpose in a way that previous efforts have not. This is you getting unstuck. You're about to get unstuck. And this person is so at peace and satisfied. So, yeah, prepare to get unstuck. Alright, to layer now on top of the cards we already have, a little more about your situation. We have the Nine of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles. So I'm getting that you have some anxiety about this new venture and its success and your ability to fully seize the opportunity that's being given to you. And maybe I think you've been hiding this anxiety from others or from yourself. It's worth shedding a little light on that, just to be aware of it. Then in light, we have Seven of Swords and Seven of Cups. So, building on this, I'm getting that you can do no wrong. There's no need to force things nor to hold tightly. And this ease makes it so there's no need either for you to twist your presentation. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm getting like angling things on purpose to help you, to aid you, or like twisting your presentation. You don't need to do it because you're in the right, and whatever choice you make, it's going to work out. There's many options ahead of you, but I'm getting that they're all gonna work. You just have to choose a path and walk down it. But all the paths, you have to choose one to get there, but they're all headed in the same direction, and they're all gonna take you to beauty and to this personal success. Then layering on some shadow, we have the Two of Cups and the Page of Swords. So again, a challenge, not forcing it is one. And then also there's an emphasis here on training your mind, not projecting, and creating more space in between your thoughts and your actions. I think also taking good care of yourself, like get out of your head a bit in terms of going slowly in this layer. Sleep well, eat well, drink water, go slow. Take care of yourself and be kind to yourself above all else. That's going to enable you to really access the best outcome for this goal of yours. And finally, a last card here for focus. Beautiful. We have the Queen of Coins, or the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, so again, I would say like stay grounded in the material world as you work with all of these ideas and also energies. I feel like the pentacles and the coins are coming through to say stay grounded and abundance will follow. Again, I think simple physical pleasures are going to be a good grounding method, good food and rest. Sometimes when we're really enthusiastic about something, we can get caught up and think the body doesn't matter, but the body does. The body is our vehicle and our tool. So take care of your body. You're being reminded to take care of your body, and everything else will follow. And everything else will follow. I'm getting this image of like weirdly a rope of clay, like soft clay, unbaked clay, but like a smooth rope. The creating of your vision is going to be like the unspooling of a smooth rope. That kind of easy, that kind of made well, and like beautiful motion, the making of it. It's just like a unspooling of a smooth rope. And it looks like your only task is to take care of your body, your vehicle in the material world. To really set yourself up for success here. But it's really beautiful, easy, smooth energy, an abundance of energy and resources, and I just see ease and rapid action for you here. So yeah, it's just really beautiful, easy, smooth energy. So much power, like creative power. So enjoy it. I'm going to leave your reading here. If it resonated, please let me know down below. I'd love to hear from you. I hope you are doing super, super, super well. And if you're not, that's okay too. I will talk to you very soon. And until then, good night. Good night. Good night. Hey group 2, welcome to your reading. You chose the second pile, which was topped with this piece of rose quartz. So, we're going to get started with your current situation. We have here the Two of Swords, the Three of Cups, and the Star. I'm getting that you are in the early stages of something, and I'm getting this sense of like quiet yearning perhaps for good company, for community that lifts you up. It kind of feels like there might be some jealousy in your community, in your friendships, maybe a little envy on your part or on someone else's. It's like someone has forgotten that lifting others is good for the happiness of all, especially when you're connected and close. And if that's someone else, maybe you've been avoiding this problem, not wanting to look it square in the face, shielding yourself a bit from having to deal with it. Or maybe you're a little confused by the origins of this envy, say, or this stickiness. It's also possible that you aren't confused and you know how you feel about it, and you don't want to fully admit that because that would lead you to take an action that maybe you don't want to have to go through. It's like you know what you would do in this situation if you really were in this situation, but you don't want to admit you're really in this situation because then you'd have to do the thing, and maybe you don't want to expend the effort right now, or maybe you don't want to feel uncomfortable right now because the action you would take would be one that would temporarily cause some discomfort, as a lot of change does usually. There's some healing taking place. I feel like you're healing old wounds. Maybe what's happening has happened before in a different shape. But I kind of suspect that deep down, like underneath it all, you do have faith in yourself, and you do have a real belief in things working out and the power of things to go right for you. And there's just a little bit of stickiness that's kind of that you're just kind of not wanting to deal with right now. But I kind of feel like you know that you could handle it. But you're pausing. I'm getting like a quiet yearning again, like maybe a little dissatisfaction socially, and some kind of lack between yourself and your friends. Your friends could be like close friends, your community, your peers. And by lack, I mean like a space or like a little like distance created, like it's stretched and there's just like a little crevice here that has been created and is like maybe a little uncomfortable. Okay, let's get some more information. So what's in light for you? We have the Empress and the Six of Swords. Others view you really positively. You bring warmth to yourself and everyone in your care. Everyone you care about feels your radiant self, like your radiant heart. And you have an ability to, like a talent for forging friendships, strong friendships, connecting with other people and gathering the people, like collecting people, giving them a reason to get together, helping them feel seen. And then yet there's some kind of transition, a leaving behind or a moving on of something. But this is in light, so whatever is being left behind, it was ready to be released. Maybe opportunities related to this relational stickiness, social stickiness, opportunities in the past were limited. So now you're moving into a space where you are recreating everything for yourself and maybe for the people you care about as well, but definitely for yourself. I feel like you're moving forward, and yeah, this is specific, but I just feel like it's maybe letting go of a friend who was no good for you, or some other kind of hard choice like that, where things were a little muddled. If you made a hard choice recently, even though it was hard, it was definitely the right one, and better times definitely lie ahead. So we'll come back and clarify some more. For now, we'll see what's in shadow. Okay, yes, again, like so much yearning, looking over the wall with the Five of Cups, Two of Wands, looking over the wall, wanting what's in the distance. It's unclear whether what you're yearning for is in the past or not. If what you're yearning for is in the past, then it's definitely time to let it go. If instead it's something you don't yet have, like you already let something go, and what you're yearning for is something you don't yet have, then it's coming. Don't worry. This is the yearning, and this card is like the prospecting, the looking out, looking outward, looking forward, making plans. I feel like it may be a challenge for you in this moment to stay enthusiastic and to stay positive, but the good thing is on its way, or the bad thing was just let go of. So it's actually a great place to kind of be resetting here. making new plans and kind of taking inventory, taking stock of what is and is not for you, or is not in your best interest. And then here is some advice on where to focus. We have the Queen of Wands. So, beautiful color story. You are authentic. You are magnetic. People love you. Maybe you're forgetting that, and this is your reminder to remember it. Your loyalty to others, the people you choose, is a freaking gift. Your love for others, the people that you choose, is a freaking gift. It's like there was a tricky relationship back here somewhere. Maybe a frenemy, maybe a group of peers with values you didn't respect or want to follow. Some kind of disconnection with other people. That is coloring or has been coloring your perception of yourself. Maybe you feel guilty about the way things played out, or feel badly about your role in being one to let go and to take steps forward and away from that. Like you wonder if you could have dealt with it better somehow, if you could have done it better. You wonder if it's your fault, maybe, but in fact the problem was not you. And even though the feelings that it brought up are uncomfortable, this card is confirmation that you're doing great, and it's important to remember that. And your warmth and your spirit, your heart is what draws people to you. Okay, so now we're going to layer this spread a little bit with these other cards. First, I'm going to try to get some clarity on your situation. High Priestess and Death. Still a beautiful color story. This is a fierce transformation, what you're going through. It feels bigger and more closely tied to your identity than I previously realized. The High Priestess is telling you to start listening to your inner voice and let go of your old role in this situation. This situation either has unfolded or is going to unfold in the way it is meant to. You don't have to force anything, and in fact, if you tried to force it, it would only complicate things, because the change that is coming cannot be stopped. It is a necessary change. It is a quiet change, deceptively quiet, and it's ultimately a change of redefinition, like redefining yourself in relation to others. So patience is required. And yeah, it's going to be a little uncomfortable, but if you accept the discomfort, then the discomfort is no longer a problem, because it's going to bring you into this brand new space where you're stronger than ever. And in the discomfort, if you need advice, she's telling you to look inward instead of outward, to recenter. That's how you'll measure this change, by looking inward. How you'll measure this progress. Yeah, it's a process of redefining yourself in relation to others, I feel. Okay, what else is in light? We have Page of Wands and the Five of Wands. So there's definitely some conflict here. I feel like some, again, jealousy, envy, there's some rivalry. This conflict is necessary. Conflict is not always a bad thing. Sometimes it reveals difference that cannot be resolved. Sometimes it reveals difference that can be smoothed over. But conflict always opens our eyes. And in this case, it's necessary. It's like a necessary outcome or boiling up of the components of this situation that were already put into place. So it couldn't have been avoided. And I don't feel like there's fault or blame for you. I don't really think you're to blame. I don't really think anyone's to blame here. Sometimes things are just at odds and no one's to blame, especially if you are kind and gentle and extend understanding to yourself and others. What's in light here for you as well is that you have a lot of inner power here. You have agency and the ability to make the next phase better in whatever shape or image you design. This is the Five of Wands, but it's giving me magician energy in this deck. And I feel like what space has been created from this conflict will be filled with something, just much better and more in tune with who you are at your core. For shadow, what's in shadow? We have Ten of Pentacles and strength. So again, with this discomfort's not a problem if you're willing to accept it to get where you're going. Perhaps you're going to feel a little adrift for a while, less connected to your friends or your community as you undergo this really fierce transformation. And when you are feeling this way, be gentle with yourself. As we said before, be gentle. Yeah, that's really it. And finally, one last focus. Okay, we have the Chariot. So you're being encouraged here to accept the duality of this situation, the opposing energies and the conflict. Accept the discomfort. When you're feeling uncomfortable, you can ask yourself, do I actually doubt my decision? And do I want to change my decision? Or do I actually just feel uncomfortable? And then you can think, well, of course I feel uncomfortable. Discomfort is a part of change. And discomfort, if I choose to accept it, is okay. You can make an agreement with yourself. Discomfort is something I'm willing to feel in order to free myself from connections that aren't serving me anymore or connections that aren't in alignment with me. This card, again, it's saying accept the duality of the situation. I think it's interesting too to look at the spaciousness of these cards here. We have one in your situation, one in light, one in shadow, and one as a focus. They're really ringing out, like drawing a lot of attention, I think. This spaciousness feels key to me for you. A lot of power and breathing room is going to come from these cards. I feel like you can just see the breathing room within them, right? So transformation, determination, gentleness, and softness. Again, we have this duality here that the Chariot's pointing to with transformation and determination, a kind of boldness, bigness, and active energy. And then the Empress in strength is softer, more receptive, and inward looking. finding the duality and harnessing the duality of willpower and willingness, action and reception. That kind of duality is going to take you forward. The chariot is marrying those two halves. Yeah, and by accepting that, you'll go far. You'll be empowered or enabled to create something new in the space that's created through this. Create something new in the space that's given to you. Yeah. All right, I will leave your reading here. If it resonated with you in any way, please let me know down below. I'd love to hear from you. I hope you're doing super, super, super well, and if you're not, that is okay too. I will talk to you very soon, and until then, good night, good night, good night. Hey, group 3, and welcome to your reading. You chose the third group, or the one with this piece of malachite on top. So let's get into it. We're going to start here with your current situation. Here we have the Four of Cups, the Six of Wands, and the Eight of Swords. I'm getting here a sense of malaise. There was some kind of good development recently, a victory of sorts, some validation you received, possibly public recognition. So externally, you're at a new height of your skills and talents. Not the total height, but pretty far. But something has been overlooked. Like, this should feel great. I'm getting that you're kind of looking around like, why doesn't it feel so great? Or why doesn't it feel as great as I thought it might? Public recognition for something you thought you wanted but didn't, or thought you cared about but you didn't care about as much as you thought. Didn't fill you up like you thought it might. There's a little disillusionment, disconnectedness from yourself or from your wants and needs. And both these cards give us narrowed vision or tunnel vision in different ways. It's like you were blindly following a path and you did it really well, but you didn't like the path to begin with. It's like you saw a path with footsteps going down it. You knew where it went, who went there, what was good about it. You thought, I'll take that one. So you took the same path, but you were too busy trying to match your footsteps with the ones in the ground. So you didn't pay attention to anything else. And you got where you wanted to go, but you didn't enjoy any of it. You just matched your footsteps like print to print. And you didn't enjoy the journey maybe. So you also can't enjoy this apex kind of part way up. And instead of feeling empowered like you wanted to, you're feeling maybe trapped, maybe a little limited. Okay, what's in light for you? We have the Five of Swords and Judgment. So this card is like survival mode, win at all costs. Victory was achieved, but it came with like little hidden consequences, which could be any number of things, like maybe like a tinge of resentment from others, or like a tinge of isolation from others who you wanted to be on your side, something like that. You've been awakened. That's what's in light. And part of your power right now is knowing what does not fill you up, what doesn't make you feel whole. Knowing that just following the path blindly, while it gets you where you want to go, it doesn't really get you where you want to go. Because spiritually or inwardly, you aren't really there. The facts would all show that you're there, but you're feeling that you're there. You're in a turning point and a wake-up call kind of moment, and that's a really good thing. And I feel like these cards are telling me you already knew about the malaise, or about the discontentment, or like self-victimization maybe. Like you didn't need to tell me. You didn't need me to tell you that you were discontent. And what's in light, what's going well here, is that you already knew those things. It's like everything inside you and your inner knowing has already changed, and your outside is still catching up. It's a metamorphosis, and on the other side is really big possibility. A totally new reality and a totally new way of being is possible on this other side. Yeah, I'm getting public recognition, validation. We'll come back and clarify what exactly this might be about. In the meantime, we're going to do what's in shadow. So we have the Sun and the Warrior of Coins or Pentacles. So you're not, again, like your outside's not caught up to your inside yet. You're not quite integrated. You're not feeling very integrated yet. You have like the happiness, optimism, and success of the Sun with you, but none of the attending joy. What you're doing, the path, and like what you are doing feels like drudgery. Your diligence is killing your spark, which is resulting in the malaise and in the distraction and in the isolation. And I feel like your head is a little foggy or muddled. There's like a fuzziness. There's a fuzziness in your head that feels like a lack of clarity, but you do have the clarity. Your inside has changed, but there's like a fuzziness to your worldview right now. I want to clarify these, but we'll finish this layer. So where to focus? We have the King of Swords. So one thing the King of Swords teaches us is that where you focus your attention gives that thing life. Where you put your attention gives that thing, like life, worth, value. So again, pointing out, focusing too hard on the success, the outcome, and ignoring the journey. And then again, you already know this, I feel, but the journey is where all the joy is. And you know that, and this is a reminder of that, and you're feeling robbed of that right now. Your head and your heart are not currently in the same place. One way you can kind of pull them into each other is focusing your attention, placing your attention on what you want to give life to. So pay more attention to the process, pay less attention to the destination. It's a really powerful tool. And I also think the King of Swords is inviting you to consider remaking your definition of success because the current one isn't serving you. Yeah, just really strongly getting like the insides aren't matching the outsides and vice versa. Okay. So now we're going to layer some other cards on top for more clarity. So more on your situation. Warrior of Swords and Nine of Wands. Okay. What you've been pursuing professionally or creatively, you've been doing it with intense focus. Might also be academic or that's what I would say. Intensely focused, and you've been doing it to almost an obsessive degree, and it's really worn you out. And I feel like you have reached a point of proper burnout. Every time you get burnt out, it takes a little longer to recover. And true burnout, like when your spirit is truly absent, it's not just one-to-one. Like it's not like you spend X units and it takes X units of rest or food or whatever to recover. It's real depletion. I think in this case, depletion of your spirit. So you spend X units and it takes like 2 or 3 of those units, 2 or 3 times to recover. And if you keep doing it, maybe even more. So there's an invitation here to take responsibility for how this obsessive pursuit has impacted your well-being. And again, it's funny because I feel like the situation, now that we've clarified it, is actually that you already know you're burned out. You already know the malaise and all that. And you already know you're burned out. And the real question, of course, is where to go from here. So, what's in light? We have the 7 of Pentacles, or coins, and the Warrior of Cups. There's a need to have an eye on self-care. It's like a long-term strategy with small and consistent actions. Like brushing your teeth, like that small. I'm getting like self-care and self-love, how it's coming into the everyday, is gonna be a big tool to break open this obsessive kind of tunnel you have entered. Tunnels are no good. Stress tunnels are no good. We think, oh, we can get to the end of the tunnel and then we'll take a deep breath, but there's always another tunnel. You always accept another tunnel. We're not entering any more stress tunnels. Does that make sense? So to break it open, it's small, consistent actions of self-care, of self-love. The ability to tame your habits and shape them and lead to a more sustainable place is coming from small acts of self-care. As long as they're consistent. And it's going to require patience. And the patience is going to be readily available to you. It's going to be easier to come by than you might guess. What's in shadow? We have the 8 of Pentacles or coins and the 3 of Wands. Yeah, it's so funny. These, in some ways, are mirroring, I mean, the Seven of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles are very closely connected in my mind. So even as you do these small self-care actions, it's still a challenge to commit and recommit. I think that's the thing. The committing is easy, but to constantly recommit to your own idea of what's valuable, where we want to put attention, your health, your spirit, your well-being, that's the challenge. The challenge is remembering that your actions today are going to create what happens tomorrow. The challenge is the sustained effort. And you're already tired. It's almost like the effort to overcome your exhaustion may itself feel tiring at times. The Three of Wands wants us to plan, to do things in the right phase at the right time. So when this challenge arises, take a deep breath, go one step at a time. And I'm really getting like, start so small. Consistency is more important than like the size of the action. Start small, and when in doubt or when tired, start even smaller. And here, our last focus card, we have the Five of Pentacles or coins. Yeah, all of these are for me underscoring the same, which is, it's like start small. If you need to, start even smaller. Literally brushing your teeth, I'm getting, is going to be helpful for you. If you want to exercise to kind of shake yourself out of the stress tunnel and recalibrate, okay, say you have a plan in place to run, great. If you can't run less, run slower. Also, like just going outside and taking a walk is going to count. Just brushing your teeth. Maybe you don't floss tonight, kind of a thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, start really small. Less is going to be more. In all things, less is going to be more as you recover from burnout. Because less is going to be sustainable. And only that which is sustainable will get you out of the weeds or out of the woods here. Welcome less. And start small. Start small with your body, with a focus on self-care. And stop following like formulas for success. I think you'll be surprised if you really stay in your body, how much you'll be able to tell what paths are for and not for you. Alright, I'm going to leave your reading there. Please let me know if it resonated with you. I'd love to hear from you. I hope you're doing super, super well. And if you're not, that's okay too. I will talk to you very soon. And until then, good night. Good night.